start from the beginning, okay? And we try and work this through together, okay? And I'll just give you just a little heads up, just so you get a heads up, right? We're going to go in a certain order. Today, we're going to do day 1 material. And tomorrow, we're going to do day 2 material. And the next day, we're going to be doing, what do you think? Day 3 material, right? So there's a weave here, just so you know. It's not random, okay? Just want to be really clear about that, okay? So let's do some prayer. Okay, here we go. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yes, I got to take a little time. And you can stand, you can stretch.
Gotta take a little
time.
A little time to think things over.
I better read between the lines.
I better read between the lines. In case I need it when I'm older.
Yes, welcome. This is our prayer.
Feels like the world upon my shoulder. Through the clouds I see love shine.
Clouds I see love shine.
It keeps me warm as life grows colder. In my life,
there's been heartache and pain.
There's been heartache and pain.
Welcome. I don't know
if I can face it again. Can't stop now. I've traveled so far to change this lonely life.
Prayer.
I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I know you can show me. I'm gonna take a little time.
I'm gonna take a little time.
A little time to look around me.
Look around me.
I've got nowhere left to hide.
Nowhere left to hide.
It looks like love has finally found me. In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can face it again. I can't stop now. I've traveled so far to change this lonely life. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me.
We bring it inside. We bring it inside. Silence of presence. We bring it inside. We bring it inside. Welcome. Let's just close our eyes. Let's just spend just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just in a deep rest. I want to know what love is. And is it real? And how do I know it's real? I can't just declare it to be real. What does it mean? Our statement is reality is not merely a fact. Reality is a story. Reality is not an ordinary story. Reality is a love story. Not as a New Age declaration, not as a fundamentalist claim, but as the best understanding of the interior and exterior sciences in all the vectors of wisdom, pre-modern, modern, and postmodern, integrated into a new emergent, into a new whole. Because that's what reality does. We'll talk about this tomorrow, but what reality does is reality synergizes separate parts into new wholes because reality is animated by a fundamental principle called allurement. That's tomorrow. It's a fundamental principle which operates in reality all the way up and all the way down. And allurement and all of the attractive forces are in some sense special case instances of this quality of allurement, and allurement is in dialectical relationship to autonomy, sometimes called attraction and repulsion. Allurement and autonomy all the way up and all the way down. And love is not allurement. Love is allurement and autonomy in dance with each other. That's a lot we're saying. So reality is not merely a fact. Reality is a story. Reality is not an ordinary story. Reality is a love story for real, meaning love is real and story is real. Wow. What if we could show that to be true and not declare it to be true? In a way that it became the ground of a universal evolving grammar of value. Reality is not an ordinary story. Reality is a love story. Reality is not an ordinary love story. Reality is an evolutionary love story. Reality is an outrageous love story. And by outrageous love, we mean the allurement and autonomy in dance that animate cosmos all the way down and all the way up. And here's the last piece of our proposition for this week. And your story, my story, your story is chapter and verse, literally, in the universe, a love story. Or if you will, in evolution, the love story of the universe. Evolution, the love story of the universe. So your story, my story, is not a postmodern construction. It's not a fiction. But the core thread of my story, not the victim story, not the obsessive details, not the therapeutic reload that I've done 16,000 times, right, that I don't need to do again, but the core outline. How to make that distinction we'll talk about. But the core thread, the core plot line of my story is an irreducibly unique chapter in evolution, the love story of the universe. So I want to know what love is. So this is our response. Love remains a complete mystery. There is no love without radical uncertainty and radical curiosity and radical unknowing. And love is real, Eros is real, and story is real. And that's what we're going to be talking about right this week. So let's maybe just hold that. That's a lot. I know that's a lot. Let's just take 3 minutes, just in silence of presence, to gently, and again, forgive me, anyone, if the beginning was a bit too much or it's a bit too little. I'm sure it wasn't just right. It never is. But let's just love each other and just have some great conversations this week. Not just for the sake of our own personal transformation. Of course it's a personal transformation seminar. What kind of idiot would stand up and say it's not? Of course it is. But my transformation participates in the transformation of the whole. There's no split between those two. That's what the interior scientist Cook wrote in his mystical diary. There's no detail of the personal that's unconnected from cosmic magnificence. And any interpretation of my personal story that's merely therapeutic or merely explained in terms of psychological principles or economic principles, Homo economicus, but doesn't actually understand that I am, and my irreducibly unique story is chapter and verse in evolution, the love story of the universe, will not allow my mind ease, and we will have the fastest growing disease in the world today is depression. Depression. Opioid crisis across Europe, across Asia, across America, covering up the emptiness of my story being unconnected from cosmic magnificence. And I would just ask friends, I ask myself, just look inside right now. Don't we know that our story is connected to cosmic magnificence? And not because we're flaming narcissists. Narcissism is self-loathing. Narcissism is a failure in psychology, and it's DSM dynamic, right? It's a failure of self-love. No, I actually know. And this notion that my story is disconnected or dissociated from cosmic magnificence, and that ultimately, all of the meaning that feels intrinsic to me is just made up. Fiction, figment of my imagination, a mere social construct, actually violates my sensibility and my sensuality and my fuck and my eros. And so therefore, depression, we're holding, as you know, at about 1 million suicides a year, about 25 to 40 million attempts, and exponentially more suicidal meanderings. Let's just hold the potential of these next 7 days, just gently together, right, as we love each other in this first day. So we're just going to do 3 minutes, just kind of gentle and sit. If you can, keep your eyes closed.